Hey guys, welcome back to Consistent Code. So today's problem of the day is count occurrences of given word in a 2D array. So basically what this problem is, we are given a matrix and we need to find a target. Suppose we are given snakes and we need to count how many occurrences of snakes we can find in this matrix. So in this case we can find three occurrences. One is from here SNA, then to the bottom SNAKES, and then S from this part to here. This is the second occurrence, and the last occurrence is from S and AKES, this one. Similarly, you can check out for this example in cats also. So how to solve this? We can solve this easily by traversing the matrix, and if the letter is equals to the first word of the target, then we can start a recursive call and check if we can find complete letter. Also, we need to maintain a visited array so that we do not repeat a character. For example, if I consider a case like this where we need to find CAC, then suppose I take this C, then this A, then I do not want that I take this C again. So I need to mark this as already taken. So I need to make a matrix to mark those characters also. So first let us make a matrix to mark the visited nodes, and let's call n as the row size of the matrix, and let's call m as the column size of the given matrix. And since this is a character matrix, so the visited matrix will also be of size n cross m. So now we have the visited matrix, and now all we need to do is we need to traverse every element in this matrix and check if a possibility of this is present. So we should create this visited matrix for every time we found a target. Like if we find this S, then we should create this visited matrix. So first let's write the for loop to traverse the matrix. So now this loop is traversing every element of this matrix. So what we need to check, we need to only check this thing, that if our this character in this matrix of ij is equals to the target 0, or we can directly recursively call this also. So first we will create n cross m visited matrix, and then I can just call this count function, or let me just call int answer equals to 0, and we will just pass this answer in our solve function. So what we need to pass, we will pass this matrix the current position, which is I comma j. So first let me give the positions. The position is I comma j, and then we will pass this matrix, and we will pass this visited matrix, and finally the answer which we need to update accordingly. And after we are done with this completion, we have traversed all the matrix, we will have the count of the number of occurrences of the target. So here we can simply return the answer. So now we just need to define a solve function, which basically counts the occurrence of the target in our matrix. So let's do that. So we'll just define this solve function. The first will be first parameter will be the position of target at which we are, and the position I have not given, so let's say the position is 0, so we will have passed the position also. So this will be the coordinates of matrix where we have found that, and also let's pass the size of this matrix n cross m. So now we are having current position x comma y, and we are having the matrix, a character matrix, and we will be passing it by reference. Then we also have the visited matrix, and we will also be passing this by reference. And then we are having our answer which we need to update, and then we are having the position where the position of target which we want to check, and then we have size of matrix in n cross m. So there are a lot of parameters, but that should do. Now we need to think of, in a recursive function, first of all we need to think of the base condition. So we can just say that suppose the target was, let's say the target was snakes. So in this we can see this is the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So these are the positions of the characters. Now if we found fifth character also, the s, then we will be moving to the next index which will be 6, and this means that we found one occurrence. We successfully found one occurrence. So that means this becomes a base condition, that if our position becomes greater equals to what is the size of our string. Okay, we forgot to pass the target, which is very important, so we need to pass a target also here. So this will be string target, and let's pass this by reference. Alright, so if the position is greater equals to the size of our target, that means we have found the occurrence, and hence we can simply increment our answer by 1 and we can return, that is end this recursive function. So that becomes a base condition. Now what will be the hypothesis? So here if we found any character, then we need to check that if the matrix, or first of all we need to check that if x is greater than n, or it should not even be equal to n, or x is less than 0, or y is greater equal to m, or y is negative. That is, we are checking that the position which we have given x comma y is in the bounds of the given matrix, and it should not be out of bounds. So only then in this case we can simply return, because no answer can exist, so we will simply return. Now we will be left with the case when we are inside the bounds of matrix. So here what we need to check, first of all we need to check if the current position in matrix is equals to the position of target we are checking, then that means that we found the character successfully, and we need to check in all the directions. For example, if this was the case, then here suppose we found this s which matches the first character of target, target is snakes. So we need to check for the next target. So we will check to the downward direction, to the right direction, and thus we can recursively call for right and downward direction. But suppose this was a corner case. If I consider this element k, and let's say the target was kbn, then for this k we found the first the position of target. So then we will move on to the top, to this element b, then to the left element, to the right element, and to the bottom element. So we need to check in the four directions. Great. And here also we will be passing to the four directions, to the right, bottom, top, but top is not present and left is not present. In that case, what will happen? When we will pass it to the top element, then we have already marked this check here, that if this is out of bounds, the call will end here only. So we will not be getting any segmentation faults. So now all that we need to do is that if this is equals to the position, we need to recursively call our function for the next positions. So the next positions can be x minus 1 comma y, and the rest will be remaining the same, the matrix visited, and the position will obviously be incremented. So first let me just mark them, and this will initially we gave the position to check as 0, but now since we found the position correct, we will check the next position, and rest will remain same. The size of matrix will be n cross m only, the target will be target only, and visited array. And yes, we need to mark this thing also, that is we have visited this x comma y, and if this is equals to this, and first we need to check this should not be visited. If this is not visited, we should not have visited x comma y, and then this should be equal to the position of target. Only then we need to call this function. We need to do the next things, right? And so here we have the answer and the visited and the matrix, so that should be good. We need to do this for the four directions, so I will just copy this call and I will paste it 4 times. Now I will be just, all I will do is change them, like here I will do x plus 1, in these two x will remain same, we will change the y, here y minus 1 and here y plus 1. So that should do the job. Now after this I believe we should have found the answer, so let's try compiling and running the code. So for example, here we are having some error. Okay, so we just forgot marking this unvisited. Suppose we just started our search from here for now, say this is the case, we are starting from k, and suppose the target was k e a b. So what will happen? We moved here, then to E, then A, but then we were not able to find the T. So what will happen? We have marked these 3 as visited, but then we need to also mark them unvisited. When we after A we were not able to find the next part, so we need to go back and mark A unvisited. So here we need to mark x comma y as 0 also again, because now this is unvisited. Let's try checking it now. So now we are getting an error. Okay, so the problem was, suppose we found SNAKES from here to suppose here till here we found snakes. starting from here, then S N A K S, then we are not incrementing answer here. When we were incrementing answer, I have debugged it by this fail and pass. So we were incrementing answer here when the position was greater than the or equal to target size. So that will be when we move to the right or to the left or to the top or to the bottom. So we were incrementing answer 4 times, which is not true. So what we need to do, we do not need to increment answer here. I have removed that from here. And now when we will increment the answer, we will be incrementing our answer when we find this, that if the I can just remove this as part because it was for debugging purposes only. So if the position is equals to the target dot size -1, and also I have already checked that this position is not visited, and this is equals to the position of target. That means we have found the last position. That also means we should increment answer by 1. I can remove comment out this also. So now here we need to return, and if it is not the last position, then we will mark this as visited and move on to the next positions, and that's it. So I believe now it should be working. So let's try compiling and running it once again. So you can see it's working now. Let's try out an example test case, which is the snakes one only. So here also we're getting correct answer. And finally, let's try out this cat test case. So let's replace this by 3 and 3, and here let me just mark this as CAT, ATC, and CT and A. Now we need to, the target string is cat. So let's try running our code on this case also, and we're getting the correct answer. So let's try submitting the code. And we solved the problem successfully. So if you like the explanation, make sure you like the video, and you can subscribe to the channel because I post the problem of the day daily on this channel. So I will see you tomorrow.